It seems like every conversation I have with personalities these days circles around and somebody says, we're just not getting as many listener phone calls as we used to. And there's a lot of reasons for that. And it's true, listeners aren't calling nearly as much as they once did, which makes it important that we invite listeners to participate and do what we can to encourage more phone calls. Today on the 2-Minute Drill, I want to go over 3 techniques that you can use to increase the number of phone calls on the air almost immediately. Number 1 is stop reading to listeners. I know people are texting, they're emailing, and they're commenting on social media, and it's quick and easy to grab those comments and put them on the air, isn't it? Well, guess what? By doing so, you're demonstrating to the audience how you would like them to respond. And radio is an audio medium, so if you want more phone calls, put more phone calls on, even if you have to fake those first few calls. Second tip today is we have to give the reason to call at exactly the right time. Have you ever seen some of those infomercials on TV? They tell you all about the product, make you want it, make you see how it would benefit your life, then they give you the number to call. They don't give you the number to call at the beginning of the infomercial. Yet how many times do you hear a radio show go on and say, hey, if you'd ever like to get in touch with us, here's our phone number. Or the audio coming out of a song will say, reach the show anytime, here's the phone number. And we give it, but there's no reason to call in. There's no reason for those listeners to remember that number, to memorize it, and to take action. You've got to give the invitation to call at the time when the call to action is best, at the height of the moment. And the number 3 thing is we've got to be very specific and very clear and make it understandable what we want listeners to do and how we want them to respond. And that comes by phrasing the question and positioning the invitation exactly right. We have to be very clear, be very specific, and tell them exactly what type of caller we're looking for. And if you can do that, you'll find that you may not get as many calls, but the calls you get are going to be terrific. And you're going to see much better response. So when you're giving that, and one more thing, when you're giving that number to call, slow down and say the digits. We've memorized it. We know that number. Your listeners haven't. So say it slowly, say it clearly, and maybe even repeat it 2 or 3 times so they hear the number and they can take action. And that's today's 2-Minute Drill.